I am so happy. I finally saw Kajillionaire last night.
Yes, I
Yay!
know. It's finally here. It's finally out this Friday. I mean, it played at Sundance earlier this year. Regrettably, you could not see it then.
I know. I was so sick. This was the one movie that I went into Sundance thinking like, okay, this is the one I'm going to see. I love Miranda July. This is going to be awesome. And of course, I got sick and couldn't even get out of bed.
We're both going to talk about this one in a very special check-in episode. But before we dig in, just a reminder, follow along on all of the socials. And then we have the Slate, the email newsletter, comes out every Friday. Be sure to join. Without further ado, Kajillionaire.
So I love Miranda July. And that's really no secret. She creates this world that is so strange, but so wonderful. And Kajillionaire was all of those things. Kajillionaire tells the story of three Los Angeles skimmers. Think of them as your kind of extreme couponers and the people that get by stealing things and then trying to resell them for money. The family consists of Old Dolio, which is played by Evan Rachel Wood in perhaps one of the strangest names of all time.
Yeah, definitely.
And her parents, played by Richard Jenkins and Deborah Winger. They're living paycheck to paycheck in their not even one bedroom apartment. It's this little warehouse that's behind a bubble factory.
Yeah, which is such a hilarious part to the movie. I mean, it's that scene where they show where they live and how they get in there every day. It's great. It's so lighthearted how they live their life. I mean, they are scamming people left and right, and like the movie is just so like heartfelt about that.
On one of their get rich quick schemes, they meet this woman called Melanie, played by Gina Rodriguez, and the family kind of takes her under their wing, much to Old Dolio's disappointment and disapproval, because as the movie kind of unfolds further, we realize that Old Dolio never really got the love and attention and affection that she wanted, like any child would want from a parent, right? Just to be called hun.
Yeah,
sweetheart.
exactly.
And it's so,
it was always just this like business. It was an operation. It wasn't like a family. And so, yeah, when this newcomer comes along, it presents Old Dolio with a bit of pause.
Yes. No money, more problems.
Yeah, flips the script on us here.
So that basically kind of tells the story. And of course, things happen along the way where trust is broken and people realize like who really has your back and good intentions versus bad intentions. But of course, in Miranda July fashion, the story is told so charmingly awkward and just the right amount of sad.
How about ethereal? Can we throw in that word? Because I feel like what Miranda July does is she'll take the day-to-day, she'll take the seemingly mundane and then give it this magical ethereal quality. It's very cinematic. Like the characters move slowly and through these worlds that she like kind of lenses a little differently than you'd normally see. And also just throw this in really quickly. When I first saw this, and I'm sure that like we'll talk about the similarities here, but it was very shortly after Parasite had come out and was kind of still in the ether about this family that was getting by paycheck to paycheck, kind of a lower class family. They were assuming identities just to make it through this world on their own. So they have a little resentment, as they live. And I feel like if you like Parasite, you're gonna like Kajillionaire because it's almost like a spiritual ancestor to that movie, and yet it does something a little bit different here, but pretty similar.
Dang, mic drop. That was the review. That was I didn't even think about that.
You think about that? Yeah.
No, but that's exactly, yes. It's like, that's exactly it. It's yeah, wow, I'm speechless.
There's a moment in the movie that might be the most like striking visual. I mean, there's a lot of incredible visuals in the movie.
I think I know what you're gonna say, but say it anyway.
Well, yeah, so it's when they're returning back to their house and they live in this little office warehouse place that's in this like foam factory or a soap factory.
It's a bubble
factory.
Like
okay, there you go. I'll toss it to you. It's a bubble factory and like part of the maintenance of being able to live here, like under the radar, is that like bubbles just creep in through the walls, through the cracks, and they have to like, I don't know, like squeegee them off, like just to live there.
Yeah, they collect them in buckets because the bubbles at a certain time of the day, bubbles come through the wall and would flood their living situation. But I do have a theory as to why Miranda July chose a bubble factory to invade. My theory is this: the Old Dolio family, like, they could just get a job, but they kind of create their own problems by not doing that. With bubbles, on the surface and at first when you look at this wall of bubbles, it looks so intimidating, but when you get up close and you poke it, it disappears. The bubbles represents like these made up problems that they're creating for themselves. Like Old Dolio's character, for example, she's so depressed. She doesn't like to be touched. She's very antisocial. All of these things are byproducts of one problem, which is she never felt loved as a child. So
Right.
the bubbles are her problems, and they really mean they don't exist ultimately. Like, bubbles exist in theory, but when you pop them, they're gone. They don't exist. Temporary problems seem overwhelming, but can be easily wiped away because they're temporary.
Whoa, I like that little fortune cookie takeaway. We should find Miranda July and pose that theory to her.
I have another one too. Another theory.
All right, keep it coming. Yeah, you are hot to trot. I'm not going to stop you.
Okay. As you said earlier, their family unit is very interesting. There's no parent-child relationship. It's just, we are a team. Everything we do, we'll split it 3 ways. So at one point, they have to split this cost, and it comes to $525 each. But as I saw it on screen, $525, I thought, okay, interesting. If you flip a 2 around, it looks like a 5, right? It's like same but different. And I pictured that
the family.
exactly
The family dynamic.
That's Old Dolio. She's the 2 in between the 2 5s.
Okay. Wow. Maybe Miranda July is working some like Tenet, some Tenet magic here. You can't get anything past Team Cinemacy. Actually, well, I just remembered. There's a lot of stunts that this cast does, and Evan Rachel Wood. She's doing like tuck and rolls and like flips, and she actually did that stuff. Oh, magnificent.
I loved it so much. Okay.
Good.
Such a good movie. If you could recommend this to someone, who would it be?
I'd recommend this movie to, shout out to Caitlin Zambito. She would definitely get just a kick out of the performances here, being an actor, and I'd love to hear her thoughts on it.
Okay, cool. This was fun. Let's chat later. And everyone watch Kajillionaire this Friday.
Yep, definitely. All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.